Hi everybody and welcome to a new episode of the Ren Builder Minecraft. I know, another Minecraft video production. Hey, it's fun. Get over it. So anyhow, what we're here to talk about today is this here, what I'm calling Monster Smelter. It's the, I should give it a 2000. It's the Monster Smelter 2000. Gotta love it. Anyhow, let's check this thing out. I want to tell you how to use it, how it works, and, you know, basically, I guess kind of show it off for real, but more importantly, how it works so you can use it. So I want to give a special thanks here to the 𝐦𝐤𝐤 server and Lucky and Craig for hosting the 𝐦𝐤𝐤 server here and allowing us to do what other servers would say is crazy. Like server crashing type stuff, and they seem to be totally cool with it. So shout out to Craig and Lucky. Thank you. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this thing. First, I will show you how to use this. Zary, I'm looking at you. So first, I'll show you how to use this so that you can go about doing this with confidence and not have to worry about it. Then second, I'll show you how it works. So if you really don't care how it works, well, you can, ignore that part, but you might find it interesting, so we'll go over that. All right, let's get started. So first of all, you come to this end of the smelter over here, Monster Smelter 2000, and you got a bunch of hoppers and chests and barrels. And what do these all mean? Well, you start over here. So this is the input for shulkers and loose input. So I'm going to throw some things. Let's see, what do I have that I can throw in here? Oh, I can throw this in here and this, and I can throw this stuff in there, and it takes it all up, right? We're going to take a shulker here. We're going to put some stone in there just because that's what I have. We're going to pick up the shulker, all right? Now, if I come over here, it's a shulker full of stone, right? I'm going to put that shulker full of stone, boom, right in there. Don't even care. So it takes loose stuff, and it takes shulkers full of stuff. Doesn't matter. Put it in there. All right, this barrel here, finished output. So you've got input where you put it in, right? Put your stuff in there, and then this is where it comes out. So this is where you would pick it up. So currently there's a lot of stone that has been smelted. There's some smooth stone that has been smelted. Smooth sandstone. I believe this is the stuff that King is missing. Anyhow. So this, it sticks everything into a shulker box for you to pick up. So all the stuff, everything that you throw in here, will come out of here already in shulker boxes. For customer service like that, we bag the product for you. I will say this, there's a lot going on here. It takes a minute, like it takes a genuine minute or two for it all to go through. But it will, if you give it time, it will. Empty shulkers. This barrel right here is where you put empty shulker boxes to refill. Since everything gets spit out in a shulker, when you put your shulkers in here, they automatically get put back into the system and will be used here. But every now and again, you need to add some shulkers for product, or you can take it out of the box and throw it in here, whatever. This is how you renew the shulker storage. So that's how it works. So you put empty shulkers in here for it to be bagged up here. So, like this would be your reservoir of empty bags. So it's your reservoir of empty shulkers. This is your fuel supply. And currently, the furnaces, they run on lava buckets. Not particularly a huge fan of the lava buckets. It's, it's a way. It gets it done. And it is more efficient if you're running a lot of stuff. But if all you're running is a couple stacks of things, then the lava buckets, well, they tend to go to waste. So I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's what we got, so it's what we use. Full lava buckets go in here. That's the fuel supply, and the empty ones come out here. So it looks like we need to refill some lava buckets here. Been emptying the nether out for that one. So you take the empty lava buckets, you go fill them up, and you throw them back in here. That's more or less for the operation of the system. So that's how that works. Filling lava buckets all day. Oh. Wasting lava buckets. That's what we do. wasting lava buckets. How about you? Then we just put the lava buckets in here and just load them in. Ta-da! And they get spit up here. And when they're done filling up the top row, then they just go around and they drop down and they start filling up the bottom row. That's how it works. It's real nice like that. So all you got to do is throw full lava buckets in here and the empty ones come out here. Real nice that way. Now, if in the event that you decide you need a lot of stone, like that stuff right there, you need a lot of stone and you don't have any cobble to be smelted. Fear not, my friends. I've got you covered. Right over to here to the smiley face with the big nose. There's a cobble generator underneath, down in that area, that you flip this up and it turns the cobble generator on. Don't worry, I'll show you. So yeah, you flip that up, you turn the cobble generator on, and everything will automatically start spitting out shulkers full of stone instead of cobblestone. And then if you re-put them in, you'll end up with smooth stone. Automatically. So that's how this thing works. It's not complicated, I don't think. You put your stuff in there, and then you get your stuff out of there. If you're kind enough to want to help restock the shulkers, they go in there. And if you're kind enough to help stock the lava fuel, it goes in there. Pretty simple. But let's see how it works. Now, if you get scared of redstone, you can, skip this part. But now we're going to go digging into how does this thing work? Because I think it's kind of interesting. So let's go. This is pretty simple. The lava, that's pretty simple. There's just an item spitter in here, and the lava buckets, they go up, they go around, they come down. So let's go up there. Let's start from the top and work our way down. I'm at the top of the world! Yay! No, anyhow. All right, so let's talk about the top. We'll talk top down. Okay, so first of all, this channel right here is where everything comes up through. All of the product comes up through this here bubble elevator. And then it gets spit out, jumps out, makes a little scene, comes over to here. Over to here, we have what I call the basket. The basket uses these here chests because of the way items work, item generation, because of the way that works and the way hitboxes work. The items that get spit up through here, they come along and they hit the chest, which is 1 pixel into this block generation, which means the items being larger than 1 pixel, when they come down here, down at the bottom, so the items down at the bottom, they sit right over top of this crack, and technically they sit in both spaces. Now that's important because you'll see we have 2 rails here. So because we have 2 rails here, both of those rails are able to pick up the items that sit right over top of both spaces. Now you might ask, why in the world go to that kind of complicated effort? Well, it's simple. Double hopper speed. Yes, since we have both rails running, we split the product up between both levels. So one rail is running the top level, the other rail is running the bottom level of furnaces, and we double the amount of product that can be smelted at one time. Give or take math. But essentially we're dividing up the product into 2 levels, which allows us to smelt the product faster. All about speed. That's what it's about. Now the fuel. What happens to the fuel? Well, the fuel comes up this here item elevator. So the buckets of lava, they come up this here item elevator, and they start spitting down this line. And that line runs underneath this entire track, and it comes back out right there. So that now, the way that works is, you see that ice? There's mine carts buried in that ice. That way, everything that runs over top of that ice gets absorbed into the mine cart, and then that fuels the furnace. That's how that works. So, when those mine carts are all full, then the product ends up running out here and drops down that hole. Actually, you can see one of the mine carts right there. It's kind of poking its way out of there. But the product comes down, hits that piece of glass, and again, because of hitbox science, it drops down that hole. Here, it falls down into that space right there, which then the leftovers from, so what doesn't get absorbed by the first floor or the top floor gets thrown down here and does the exact same thing on this floor. I haven't quite figured out yet how I want to dispose of extra. For now, the extra buckets they just keep spinning around until they end up getting used. So I got to figure that part out yet, I guess. All right, so if we come down here, and we're going to go to the bottom level. So everything in these hoppers, will notice all the hoppers from all these furnaces channel into this corner, where we then have, well, you can't really see it, I guess. Let's go downstairs, see if we can see it. Yeah, here you go. All right, so all the hoppers, all the products from the furnace get sent through this item filter that filters out the buckets. The buckets get sent all the way back to that other, that other chest with the empty buckets. So that's what this line is. All right, so this right here is a very large, well, it's not really that large, I guess, but kind of. It is a dual shulker box filter. What does that mean, you might ask? Well, that means, what that does is it takes two hoppers. Remember, this is all about speed, double hopper speed. Takes two hoppers, suck out of that chest, that input chest, and both of those hoppers filter what's going through this here shulker box filter on each side. So it can filter two item streams at once through those shulker boxes. And what that means is it's going to take the shulker boxes and put them in one stream, and then the loose items and put them in a different stream. Shulkers get sent around this here hopper stream, and to that goes up another item elevator. So all the shulkers get sent up this here item elevator over to here, where they get split up between two different shulker unloader stations. And these are the shulker unloader stations. Now the shulker unloader stations, there's 4 of them. I know, right? 4 shulker unloader stations. Why is there 4 shulker unloader stations? Speed. That's why. Speed. It can unload a lot of shulkers at once, and then it burns them all. It doesn't burn the shulker. It burns the stuff that's in the shulker. Anyhow, the whole point of this is we can unload 4 shulkers at once. Automatically. It's all automatically. So those 4 shulkers, the products get sent into here, and you can see, if I can get down here right, those here droppers, they spit out the products of the shulker unloaders into this water stream, which gets spit right into that water elevator and up the center. So that's the shulker station. Now the loose stuff, the stuff that gets separated that you put in there that's loose, that stuff gets sent right down to here through that there hopper train, and it gets spit out this here dropper. And this dropper, and there's another one over there, so like I said, double. It's double the speed. These 2 droppers spit out product into this water stream, gets sent down the same water stream into that elevator. So that's how it works. Loose items get sent down this water stream. The shulkers get put into these here 4, the quad shulker unloader, and they get spit into the same water stream. Goes into that elevator, gets spit all the way to the top, and drops down into those things where it's then burnt up. Now, once the product is smelted, then it gets sent down that train through this here item sorter, where it separates the empty lava buckets from the regular product. Product gets sent over to here. This is a shulker box loading station, which is, and this one's a little bit different. You'll notice it goes into the one. I think I can get a better vantage point from this other end here. So from here, oh, biscuits. So from here, you'll notice, well, you can't really see it too well, but there's 2 hoppers that feed into one shulker box. That way, why do we do that? Why do we feed 2 hoppers into one shulker? Speed. It's all about the speed. So we have 2 hoppers from the furnace lines feeding this one shulker so it can fill it up twice as fast. And I'll be honest with you, even at twice as fast filling that shulker up, it still actually is kind of slow. Not gonna lie. It's you know, I still wish it would be faster. Like, you want it to be instantaneous, right? But, well, you know what? It still takes a bit of time. This is one of the most unique parts of this shulker unloading station. This is a clock, and it's a clock that is initiated by the items in that shulker. So traditionally, you would expect that a shulker loading station would either lose, well, let me just say a super smelter would normally just, whatever stacks you didn't get would be left in the system until the next round of smelting, or you would expect there to be some product loss. Well, that's not how this one works, especially on this here shulker loading station. Pretty often it won't spit the shulker until the shulker's full. Well, this one doesn't work that way. This timer allows that shulker, or forces that shulker to be spit out, whether it's full or not. But that is relative to your production. So if you're left with half a shulker at the end of your production line, in other words, your shulkers don't have to be full. If you only have half a shulker, it will spit through all of your product and put it into boxes. And when those boxes, when the time of filling in those boxes is up, it spits it out, regardless of whether it's full or not. That is to ensure that as long as you wait for all the stuff to be smelted, that you will get back all your stuff. You'll just, some of the shulkers won't be completely full, but you will get back all your stuff. So that's the idea of this. So if you have a half box, like 4 or 5 stacks of say stone at the end of your run, it won't be stuck in that shulker until the next run. This timer is going to spit that shulker out when it would normally be full. It'll spit that out, and it's only half full because that's the leftovers of your run, of your smelter run. So that's the point of this. And that might be kind of confusing, I know, a little bit maybe, but just understand that if you put in 2.5 shulkers of product, so that's what? That's 9 times 3. So 9 times 3 is 27 stacks times 2.5. So if you put in 67.5 stacks, that's 2.5 shulkers, you will get 67.5 stacks back. But that last shulker is going to be half empty, just like you put it in. So that's the nutshell of this is, you know, you will get your stuff back. It just takes a little bit of time. You just got to wait for it. Automatic shulker loader and timed release of said shulker loader. The timing of this is set so that the length of time it takes for a shulker to fill up full normally is when it gets spit out. And so you'll get full shulkers, and then if there's half a shulker left, when that would normally be full, maybe that's the point I'm missing. That last shulker will get spit out and the amount of time it would take to fill it up. So if you have a half a box in there, it will take the same amount of time to spit out as it would normally take a full box. But the trade-off is, so you got to wait for that full box unload. The trade-off is you get all your stacks back and you don't have to wait for the next run to get it back. That's what I'm going for here, I guess. Long explanation. Sorry about that. I'll probably trim it down and edit. Yeah. So that's the nuts. Oh, I forgot one thing. The Cobble generator. Here it is. The Cobble generator. So this Cobble generator is based on an 𝐦𝐨𝐬 design. We have a box full of TNT, and by the way, if you feel so inclined to, add TNT to this system before you start, it's always appreciated, because when the TNT runs out, it can possibly break the system. So this is the Cobble generator. You've got 4 stone generators on each end, right? And then you've got this here TNT exploderator to get that done. And there's a clock, a giant clock, down here that makes this whole thing work. Again, it's based on an 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞 design, and this right here is the trigger. So when you hit that, and it uses the wall setup. So when you put a block, there's a block up there. When you hit that trigger on the face, you remember the face with the big nose? When you turn that on, it triggers a block update up there, which updates this wall. And then this here observer sees that updated wall, and it blips a thing of redstone, and then unlocks the trigger, which then starts the clock, and it starts the cobble generator up. There's one thing I would like to point out if you're going to use the cobble generator. That you don't have to if you don't want to, but this is something that's good to check, just because if the TNT runs out, this can kind of break a little bit, just a little bit. So there's something that's worth checking before you start. But if there's no hole, this timing is set so that that TNT explodes right here, like right in the middle of this. And if there's no hole for it to fall down, then it will explode right on the surface. If it explodes right on the surface, all the timings and stuff will be fine. That's why the obsidian's there. But that gate will break, and then this thing will stop working. I think the next time I do this, I'm going to play around with explosion distances so that I can set the level, that height, higher, so that it doesn't require, that way it can't break. That's the idea. If this was higher, it wouldn't break the system if that hole wasn't there. But that's what's worth checking. If you are so inclined, you can check that that hole is there before you start. So I have to decorate it up first. For sure, I have to decorate this thing up. But that's how this thing runs. Thank you very much for watching and paying attention. And if you learned something, that's great. If you feel like leaving a comment like, hey, you actually want to know exactly how all these things work, like the actual redstone science that went into making these things actually work, the filters and the unloaders and all that, I'd be happy to. This is unique in that all these items are running on a paper Minecraft server. That makes a difference. Regular Java Minecraft redstone will not work correctly on paper. So all the redstone in this thing is designed for paper server operation. So if you're on a server that they would allow such a thing, because this is not lag friendly, then by all means, I'd be happy to actually show how the redstone science actually works. But for now, that's the Monster Smelter 2000. So have fun. If you guys are going to use it, feel free. And I hope it works out well for everybody. Yay! All right. Catch you guys later.
Bye-bye.